Hi there, how are you? Thank you so much for clicking on. Today, I want to talk about boundaries, why it is critical to develop personal boundaries, and a lot of this I got from Teal Swan. Thank you. Um, it's critical to develop personal boundaries so we know what we stand for, what we'll tolerate, what we will not tolerate, what is a deal breaker for us. If we haven't got boundaries, we've got nothing in place like that. We've got no rules, and we do need them. We need to have them there for ourselves, so we can express this to all and sundry people in our life, what we stand for, what we tolerate, what our rules are, how other people must respect our rules and individuality, no returns. And if ever I'm not respecting your boundaries, I would love you to tell me straight up. There's no need for an attack on anybody when this is the case, but when someone is violating your boundaries and they don't know, it's time for them to find out. Imagine what our world experience would be like if we all knew and enforced our boundaries and respected other people's boundaries, rules, needs, feelings and emotions. You know, when that time comes when, hey, you just crossed a boundary. That is not all right. I won't stand for this. You know, you've disregarded my boundaries, my rules and my needs, and I am not okay with this. You're invalidating my, that's not the right word, but you're not validating my feelings and emotions. And I won't bloody put up with this. I won't let people treat me like this. So, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to write her a letter. I'm going to write her a letter and let her know that I feel that why this was a boundary violation and that I will not stand for it and it's never to happen again, because it causes an emotion of rejection or disregard, and it's not acknowledging me, it's disrespecting me and my boundaries. I deserve better because I am worthy, I am lovable, I'm enough and I matter. And crossing my boundaries, no way. I always say this whenever I talk boundaries, but I just have to because almost all of my life I had no boundaries, had no idea what a boundary was. I did have some unconscious ones, but nothing that I was actually aware of. And not only that, I would let people cross my boundaries all the time. I would say yes when I meant no, I would say no when I meant yes. When I wanted to do that, I would not. I would sell myself out all the time, and it's just the worst feeling, like, you know, saying no to yourself all the time. It's good to say no to yourself in a resourceful way when, you know, like, hey, Rob, you're eating way too many Tim Tams. Will you be pleased to know that I crossed off Tim Tams? I don't have any more Tim Tams. They are total crap, but I sure loved them for a long time. And, you know, sugar is something that I have not got a big enough boundary around. While I'm talking about boundaries and saying I haven't got boundaries, I have got personal boundaries. Didn't really realise what it was, but I stopped. I used to smoke, I used to drink, I used to take, no, not drugs. I used to take anti-inflammatories, I used to take antidepressants, I used to take anti-cholesterol tablets, just to name a few things. And I've got a few boundaries in place because I've given up all those things. And just as well, I'm sure I wouldn't be here. I haven't had a suck on a cigarette for 33 years. And just as well, I know, like, I'm reasonably healthy. I think I'm pretty good. And I'm mobile and I can have fun. I've had heaps of operations, blah, but I'm sort of half healthy and I've got another 32 years in front of me, you know. I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't make it, especially now I've got new knees, new hip, you know. Yeah, I'm bionic. But getting back to it, you know, like, most of my life, no boundaries. Totally yes man, people pleaser. And, you know, there are times when we do have to make exceptions and, you know, really allow people to, you know, go a little bit further than normal. You know, like when they are in a really, really, really bad space, you know, it's time for us to, you know, get compassionate and empathetic and like, just let a few things go. We don't have to be. There are exceptions. There are times when we do have to be selfless to help someone out who is someone that we care about who's in a bad place. So when we get to there, though, what's it going to take to pull you back into alignment with your personal truth? It's crucial that we make decisions and changes based on how we truly feel and decide specific actions, what specific actions we can take. Maybe next time someone asks you to do something that is unsuitable for you, does not fit into your schedule, maybe you just say no. No, I'm sure you've seen this on the net. No is a complete sentence. And what I have actually read on my way through is, for really, really, really successful people, just say like Warren Buffett, I think he said that, you got to learn to say no to most things. You got to learn to say, but you got to learn what to say no to and what not to say no to. And if you haven't got your boundaries in place, you haven't got any idea. But if you are there unconsciously and you are saying yes when you want to say no, then you have not got boundaries. If you are saying no when you want to say yes, you are selling yourself out, and it is terrible. So make a list of 10 things that are not working in your life that you can actually set boundaries for. Maybe it's your inability to take action. Maybe it's your living circumstances. Maybe it's an untidy environment, a disorganised, chaotic environment. Anybody ever seen one of those? Yes, I have. My intention that I set these days is I'm energised, I'm organised, I'm present, I am focused. Man, if I could just master them, and nobody's going to be switched on all the time. We all have lapses, we all drift away. There's times when it's okay to feel like total crap, to be a burbling mess on the floor. It's okay. You just got to own it, go through it, and like I said before, let it go, flush it, don't look back. Just move on, move forward. Maybe it's an intimate relationship. Maybe it's inability to create income. You're not reaching your potential. You're feeling inferior. You're not living your purpose. Whatever it is for you, put it in your thoughts, put them into your words, and you decide what actions you're going to take. Maybe you need to set up a new boundary for yourself or another perpetrator, because the thing about boundaries is it's not so much that, or not only that other people cross our boundaries, it's us that we don't respect our boundaries, and that is really something to work on. So when you do find that person, that when you want to put that boundary down for yourself, and you just say, look, you need to support me in my efforts to give up smoking by not smoking around me. Just please don't poison my environment. I need you to champion me here. And if there's turbulence, if you get off course, feedback is okay. Feedback is okay, but don't ridicule me. I need your support. I need you to champion me so I can so I can succeed and reach my goal to be the change that I want to see. As well as that, our boundaries are forever changing, realigning in relation to the changes of our environment, a new job, a new relationship, different circumstances, different commitments. So, we need to be able to know what we've, change our boundaries as we go to suit ourselves. And it's important that other people know, so you can tell people, look, hey, I want you to tell me exactly how you feel. Don't hold anything back. I want you to tell me exactly what you're feeling, positively or negatively, without fear of judgment. Like, I'm not going to judge you, I'm not going to attack you. I want you to tell me that, because when we can do that together, there's just so much more balance in our lives. And wherever we got that, we're going well. So we need to be able to communicate it truthfully, what they think and feel, what we think and feel, so we can stay in alignment and also feel validated that it's okay. It's critical, it's expected that they be true to themselves, 100%. And watch the world change. Just imagine when it was like that. Watch the world change when we do that. When we change, generally we start to notice that other person is changing. Have you ever noticed that? Have you? I sure have. I've been in conflict with somebody, and then I decided I had to let it go. And as soon as I did, even without communicating with that other person, as soon as I did, that person started acting differently. So, we project stuff there that we're not even aware of at times. So if we want to live happy lives and make right decisions ourselves, we need to know how we feel, admit how we feel, and express how we feel. Developing boundaries is crucial in finding out who we are, what we stand for, what we'll tolerate, what we won't tolerate. So don't resist or fight against it, just do it. Fully allow yourself to express the truth always. It doesn't come easy, but once you start and do it a few times, you can definitely build, a ritual, make a habit out of it. I know I've had a few stinging things coming my way, from other people. It made me angry initially. Fortunately though, and this is just something that I'm just learning to do, is instead, that thing about responding or reacting, well, no, it didn't react with anger like a man usually does. And it's actually been on social media, so that's a really good way to learn. People sort of gunning for me. And a couple of times I've worked out a response, on paper, but I decided, one, not to answer, and other way to answer with totally just no anger whatsoever, coming from a place of love. And I can only just imagine the bedlam that causes that person who's throwing that accusation out, or whatever it is. So I think that's a really good thing to do. Our boundaries are always a reflection of how we feel. If we feel like doing something, we should do it and reinforce our boundaries. If you feel like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do that, don't do it. Because if you do, you are violating your own boundary, and you will feel, and you have. And I tell you what, I had a lot of experience of doing that, as I said, and it feels absolutely terrible. There's only one thing that feels worse, and it could be even a little bit of the same thing, but that is shame. Oh, I just cannot feel shame. It's terrible. I've had it, through religion and that sort of forced onto me. No, I am worthy, baby. Anyone who tells me that I'm not worthy they've got a little bit of stoush on their hands. They're going to find out. So we have to honour ourselves, our wants, our desires, and stop. When there's a stop, no entry, do not proceed. It's out of bounds. Boundary violation, sorry. We're not going to put up with that. Be true to yourself. Validate who you are, what you feel, who you want to be, and how you are going to act. When, how and why you will say yes, and when, how and why you will say no. When, how and why you will or will not tolerate a specific person, experience or situation. It's hard for people to set boundaries because they put other people's needs and feelings first. They don't know themselves. We don't know ourselves properly. We don't know who we are. We feel we don't feel as though we have rights. And we believe that setting boundaries jeopardises our relationships. But just imagine your relationship when everybody knows each other's boundaries. And, you know, what's a point of no return, that's what it's got to be like in a relationship. And if you know and you break the rules, well, baby, you're gone. And the other reason is we never learn to set boundaries. So if there is, I would say, I think finding out about boundaries and setting boundaries and standing up for who I am, because I hated conflict. It's not that I go around having conflicts, but now I don't back down like I used to. I'm there. I am worthy, and I am. It's my right to have boundaries. I'm more than happy for you to have your boundaries, you to have your beliefs, etc. Please give me that same. Give me that same privilege. Let me have boundaries, and I would love you to respect them too. Because if you don't, like I said, sorry, baby, there ain't no way in. Thank you. Get out there, set some boundaries, change your life. Thank you.